Hey, welcome back. I'm going to continue showing everyone how to create a clickable button on a instruction screen so you can add to your Flowlab games. So when we left off, we had the instruction portion on this list, and we're going to go ahead and create a new shape. So I'm going to click here to add an empty layer. Whoops. And actually to create a shape. This, we're going to be, whoops. It's a little bit finicky sometimes. I'm going to delete that and start again. So I'm going to do, I'm just going to put an empty layer in here on top. Okay. And then I'm going to go to this shapes and choose the shape of the rectangle, but I also want to make sure that the fill color is something that will stand out against the background. Maybe I can even make this a blue shape. So I'm going to create the shape, just drag it, and then I'm going to use that line to line it up. I need to add some text to say what this button is going to do. So you can choose to add the text. And I'm going to be making sure that the text is a lighter color so that it shows up on the button as I press it. And I'm just going to push, put it all caps and just put the word play. So now if I center that in my button, I now have a very, very basic screen, but this will serve our purposes. So to get this out of Pixlr, I'm going to go to the File menu and choose Export as PNG. So now down here, I have a file that was created called Level 1 Instruction PNG. I'm just going to look at that and move it into my game art folder so that I can find it quickly when I am going. I'll find it in the Madison Hive Arcade folder. All right. So now we want to move back to Flowlab into the game that we were looking at earlier, which is right here. Okay, so now we need to add a new sprite in order to get that title screen to show up. So first thing we want to do is make sure that we are on the user interface layer of this level. And we're going to click outside this game screen and choose create. So we want to name all the new sprites that we create so later we know what they are. So this is going to be, what was it, level 1 instructions. Okay. So before we close this dialog, we want to click to edit the sprite. And before we've chosen browse, we're going to choose upload here and choose the file that I just created. In this Madison Hive Arcade, there's my level 1 instructions title that I just created, and I'm going to click OK. So now when I click OK and OK again, I get the screen. So I can just click and drag this and line it up exactly with my window. So this is not clickable. You can't click this yet. So we're going to go back to the game world, and we're going to add a sprite over here, and we're going to say play button. Whoops, if I can spell correctly, we're going to call this play button. And we're going to not edit the sprite. We don't care what it looks like because we're going to make it invisible. So we're going to go right into the behaviors. The first thing we're going to do is grab an always block under triggers. And we need a mouse click as well. Under properties, we're going to grab an alpha. And then under logic and math, we're going to grab a number. So we'll hook these up in a minute. So we're going to take the always block and set it to the get for the number. And we're going to leave the number at 0 because 0 means no color. So we want the alpha to remain 0. And then we're going to be linking that to the alpha value. One more trigger we need that I didn't get. So the mouse click, and then we're going to use a game flow, and we're going to use a next level block. And we're going to click the down to the go, and for the level, we're going to choose level 1 and click OK. So right now what this is saying is anytime you click this sprite, you are going to go to the first level. In the next video, I'll show you how to. Welcome back. In the last video, we created the behavior logic for making a clickable button in our Flowlab game. So in this video, I'm going to show you what you need to do to actually make that something you can click on. So if you're in the behavior window, we're going to close this and we're going to say OK. So now we have our sprite that we've just made invisible all the time and clickable to go to the next level. So we're going to take this sprite and we're going to place it here over top of this play button, and we're going to clone it until all of this button has been covered with this sprite. That means anytime a player would click anywhere in the region of this button, they will get the response that's expected that this button is going to do something. So we're going to just cover this button so that anywhere the cursor goes, and we can say we're done cloning when that's been created. So to test this from in here, we would just click play. So now we see the first thing we notice is that we don't see that sprite covering up this play button. The second thing we notice is that if we click on it, we go to our first level. There isn't anything in this level necessarily. It's a very basic game, but that did work. All right. So with this video, we've learned how to create a title screen in Pixlr. We've learned how to make, to upload that image into a sprite on the user interface level of a game. We learned how to add a sprite to the game level of the game that is invisible and clickable, so that when a user clicks that button, they can begin playing the game. So if you have any questions, let me know. But you now have the information to create title screens and clickable instruction screens for your Flowlab games. Till next time.